Any Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, 2 of the 13 indicted for their alleged part in a major prison contraband scam have come to an agreement with prosecutors. Plus, a mother is under arrest after her toddler is found wandering by herself along a busy Dededo roadway. And the U.S. military says China has practiced bombing runs targeting the territory. Lisa Baza with reaction from Guam Homeland officials.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us alongside Crystal Paco, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
And it's going to be a challenge. Superior Court Judge Vern Perez saying that in court when discussing the possibility of the 13 indicted in the major prison contraband ring being tried in one courtroom. But could the concern be averted?
It seems the case is headed that way after one of those accused was granted his motion to sever from the others. Today, 2 more indicted told the court they've now come to an agreement with the government.
They're cooperating with prosecutors. In court today, it was confirmed that Roxanne Hokok and DPW worker Ronald Meno are walking back on their not guilty plea. Attorney Clyde Lemons represents Hokok.
We just reached an agreement, and she's going to enter a plea on Friday. She's going to plead guilty.
Attorney Terrence Timblin is Meno's defense attorney.
First of all, I had to go through all the discovery, about 3,000 pages, and then Mr. Collins made an offer, and we looked at it, and we've accepted it.
The pair is being charged with conspiracy to commit promotion of major prison contraband. Hokok faces an additional charge of drug possession. Both are accused of working to get drugs and other contraband into the prison. The prosecution told the court today more plea agreements are in the works with others named in the indictment. Meantime, former corrections officer Frankie Roslin, who resigned from DOC, is awaiting the judge's decision on his motion to sever. Also, attorney Tom Fisher told the court he intends to file a severance motion as well for former corrections officer Jerome Sinicholas. Sinicholas is among the officers fired from the department. A change of plea hearing for Roxanne and Meno is set for this Friday at 11:30 a.m.
Judge Perez says the probable target date for most of those accused to go to trial is sometime in mid-2018. So far, trial has only been set for early December for Jerry Hokok, who has since been granted his motion to sever. As for any appeals before the Civil Service Commission, there's none on file just yet. However, KUM has learned the appeals are in motion for Jeffrey Limo and Jerry Hokok, who are both fighting their terminations.
Supreme Court justices affirmed the trial court's judgment of conviction in the case against Raymond Torres Tatautau. Tatautau has appealed his case now 3 times before the higher court, most recently arguing ineffective assistance of counsel and that a video reenactment provided by co-defendant Kyle Cruz should have never been admitted into evidence. The higher court determined Tatautau should have raised these issues during his initial appeal. While he's serving 45 years behind bars for the 2013 Nimitz Hill home invasion, he was recently rearrested and charged with 4 others in a scheme to smuggle contraband into the Department of Corrections.
She was fast asleep when her little girl somehow got out of the house on her own. Now, a 28-year-old mother is under arrest. Her daughter found wandering alone on the side of the road in Dededo Tuesday morning. Police confirm Delaney PD Robert is charged with child abuse, child neglect, and child endangerment. Police say the toddler was spotted along Fatima Road around 10:30 a.m. yesterday. Authorities had no luck immediately finding the toddler's parents, putting out a call to the community for help. Child Protective Services stepped in and took custody of the child. It was about 6 hours after the child was found. Investigators say the parent showed up to the Dededo precinct looking for her. The mother told police her child managed to unlock a door at their home while she was sleeping. A neighbor told the mother that her daughter was at the precinct after seeing the news on social media.
A GPD internal affairs investigation is underway after an officer-involved shooting in Dededo early today. GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao says it happened on Kazing Chando near Town Market around 2:30 a.m. Specific details of the incident have not yet been released, but authorities say the shooting occurred as the officer was making a traffic stop. No injuries were reported. KUAM has learned the suspect was placed under arrest, but his name and charges against him have not yet been made public.
Robbed at gunpoint, Guam police need your help tracking down a man they say rushed into a Tamuning game room, threatening the worker with a black rifle on Halloween night. It happened around 8:30 p.m. Investigators say the armed man went into the 24-hour game room at Airport Plaza, demanding money. He then took off on foot towards the rear parking lot of the building. The suspect was last seen wearing a black hooded sweater, blue jeans, a red cloth covering his mouth, and dark sunglasses. Anyone with information is asked to call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-HELP.
An employee at a local barbecue restaurant and another witness stopped a would-be burglar from breaking in. It happened around 10 p.m. yesterday at the Chamorro Village. 27-year-old Francis Anthony Andrews charged with attempted criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. Police responded to a call of a burglary in progress at the Chamorro Island barbecue last night. The suspect was caught on video surveillance trying to break in through a window. Authorities say officers showed up to find the pair restraining the suspect. The employee told police the restaurant had been burglarized at least twice in the past month.
While Halloween night is full of scares, one woman being pushed in a wheelchair outside the Micronesia Mall last night found herself pinned between cars after the operator of a pickup truck backed out of the parking stall too fast. Though the driver tried to make a run for it, the man pushing the wheelchair acted quickly. Court documents state he managed to get into the passenger seat and hit the brakes over the driver's foot. The woman, fortunately, only sustained minor injuries. The driver, 22-year-old JL Yisikar, was arrested and charged with DUI with injuries and leaving the scene of an accident with injuries.
Jury selection kicks off bright and early Monday for the two men charged with the manslaughter of local bodyboarder Brian Cruz. J.C. White and Alfredo Castro appeared in court on Wednesday. Just over a year ago, White, Castro, Richard Regadio, and Cruz were out drinking in Tumon. According to surveillance footage from a nearby establishment, White punched Cruz, knocking him unconscious. The men then carried Cruz to a car and proceeded to Linda's coffee shop in Hagutnya to eat. Cruz was discovered in the car by police after a riot broke out at the restaurant. He died days later from severe head injuries. Regadio previously entered a plea agreement with the government. White and Castro, meanwhile, have opted to face a jury.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
Find your reason to celebrate with a brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 at IT&E.
It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Score big, save big with the all-new redesigned Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. Gain those extra yards with up to 45 miles per gallon highway and an introductory savings of $4,500. Or check out Guam's best offensive line, like a new Accent starting at $11,995, or the new Elantra starting at $16,995. How about the new Tucson starting at $19,995? Plus, every new Hyundai gets Guam's best warranty. It's Hyundai's Kickoff the Savings event at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Hi, Dad.
Warm up with the new Peking pork. Delicious crisp pork chop bites with hand-cut bell peppers and onions, wok-tossed in a sweet and sour glaze. New at Panda Express, where good fortune smiles.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
North Korea has been the major aggressor in the Asia-Pacific region over the past few months. But there could be another military concern growing in the region that puts Guam in the crossfire once again.
Issa Baza joins us with more on what seems to be yet another possible threat, this time from China. Issa?
Nick and Chris, China has flown fighter jets near Guam and has practiced bombing runs targeting the island. That's according to a report from Defense News on Tuesday. The report indicated these flybys could be an effort to probe U.S. defenses on the island. In particular, the report says Chinese H-6K Badger bombers with 1,000-mile range air-launched cruise missiles are testing U.S. defense zones around the territory, with one official alleging the People's Republic of China is practicing possible attacks. The report indicated Chinese jets have also flown near U.S. bases in Hawaii. Guam is a U.S. military stronghold nicknamed the Spear of the Pacific and is home to military assets including B-1 bombers and submarines. In response to this latest news, Guam Homeland Security spokesperson Jenna Bloss says the office, in conjunction with the Mariana Regional Fusion Center and federal and military partners, continue to monitor all events surrounding the region, including this latest report. She maintains Guam's threat level remains unchanged with normal operations, reiterating the confidence in the U.S. Department of Defense's capabilities to protect the U.S. mainland and its territories. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, the aircraft carrier USS Roosevelt pulled into Naval Base Guam. The military maintains the regular deployment of the carrier to the Western Pacific is not directly related to regional threats. However, this marks the first time in 1 decade that as many as 3 carriers are simultaneously deployed to the same area of operation. Chris and Nick, back to you.
Thanks, Issa. We should add President Donald Trump is expected to visit the region this week, including a stop in China.
After students at Simon Sanchez High School took a knee in protest against the lengthy delays to renovate their school, a new piece of legislation now hopes to move things along. Bill 204, introduced by Senator Frank Guggen Jr., would put DOE in charge of the multi-million-dollar procurement instead of DPW. The bill also hopes to prevent against protest delays by allowing DOE with written concurrence from the Attorney General to make written determinations on the award of the contract. More money for parks and recreation area improvements. That's what's behind a new bill by Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo, which seeks a fair share of federal parks funding for Guam and the other insular areas. Currently, Bordallo says all 5 territories and the District of Columbia share the same allocation as a state.
This bill fixes this disparity by providing a full state equivalent share of the Land and Water Conservation Fund funding for each territory and DC every year.
Bordallo says the least populated states receive about $823,000 a year from the LWC fund, which Guam got just $75,000. Her measure is co-sponsored by the delegates from the other territories.
The Mayor's Council is drafting a new travel policy to guide future off-island trip decisions. In Wednesday's council meeting, Ora Chalampago's Jesse Gogli explains that as elected officials, they will have a need for official travel, but the mayors must also provide greater transparency when using public funds.
To put on record as far as the travel we took and what was accomplished during that travel, so that the public can actually review these documents. We submit it, we can post it online on our website, we can submit it to the legislature, the governor, whoever requires us to submit these travel requests. But the bottom line is to establish a travel policy.
Gogli says in drafting the policy, they will look at the senators and federal guidelines. The mayors have come under fire for previous taxpayer-funded travel, including a trip to the Philippines to attend a strawberry festival.
Guam's #1 industry makes a small change that officials hope will bring about a big difference at the airport, at least for those traveling here to the island. Returning residents are all too familiar, and for visitors, it can be especially overwhelming.
When you're traveling 6-7 hours on a plane and somebody hands this to you, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a big form that it's going to take a while to start filling things out.
Traveling to Guam just got easier. Live today, a more streamlined customs declaration form. half the size with fewer questions. Acting Director of Tourism Research Nico Fujikawa says it's good news for the passenger and the agencies reviewing the data.
This is where GVB and Customs kind of combine all the numbers and the stats that we get. All these reports you guys see out in the public and articles, things like that, come from these custom forms.
Best of all, you'll get out of the airport sooner. Guam Customs and Quarantine Chief Vincent S.N. Perez says the new form means quicker passenger processing.
But I'm pretty sure it would make it a whole lot quicker, because when you're sitting up there at the counter and I have to look at every name, look, count how many people are there, and then look to see if all the passport information is there and verified, because that's what takes a lot of time, is opening up the travel documents.
You'll also see some new questions like how you booked your flight. GVB CEO Nate Denight says this is all part of maximizing GVB's marketing efforts.
When you're making decisions, data is so key. We have some of the best data and the quickest data in the whole tourism industry.
In honor of All Souls Day this Thursday, thousands of people from around the island will be gathering at cemeteries to remember their loved ones. Paul Chargloff of Assen visited the Guam Veterans Cemetery this afternoon. He says he takes this time each year to clean the headstones of his mother, father, grandmother, brother, and aunt.
Every year, yes. My sister makes flower arrangements. She does a good job, and I go set them up. It's family. They're gone, but they're within our hearts, and it's always gonna be like that forever.
Masses in commemoration of all the faithful departed will be held tomorrow at more than a dozen cemeteries, including Pigo Catholic Cemetery at 3 in the afternoon and at Veterans Cemetery in PD at 1. The full schedule of All Souls Day Masses can be found on KUAM.com. Well, sports is next, but first, your island weather.
From the network that brought you up to 3 times more data comes the dawn of a new data. The epic story of Guam's only network brave enough to give 10 free gigs of bonus data on every line every month to customers who bundle their services. Reviewers are calling the offer totes awesome. Best deal ever. And yes.
Visit GTA.net for details.
A wise man once said that life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You don't always see that 10% coming. When you get hurt or feel the devastation. For over 40 years, Alpha Insurers reacts quickly for you to provide you with peace of mind. Always. Alpha Insurers. Protecting your good things in life.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
St. John's Drama Department presents the Karen Flores production. Lights Out. This original play is November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, second floor of the plaza. Tickets $10 each and can be purchased at the door. For more information, call 488-6899.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Alfade Marianas, Guahusi Chris, KUAM Sports on this Wednesday. Woo! We kick it off with something I got a lot of back in school, paddling.
Guam paddlers represented their club teams this past weekend at the 19th Annual Micronesia Cup
The paddling event, the region's premier competition welcoming teams from Saipan and Palau. Guam last hosted the event 3 years ago at Matapang Beach. The annual competition hosted on a rotational basis between Guam, Saipan, and the Republic of Palau. 45 teams competing over 3 days in the 500-meter, 1,000-meter sprints, and long-distance races in 6 different categories. 500-meter winners, MOC won men with a time of 2:32. The 1,000-meter overall went to BKC men 5:48, and the long-distance overall winners, here we go, 6 miles. Mixed BKC 58:56. 8 miles women's. The BKC women, 1 hour, 24 minutes, 54 seconds. And the 10-mile race, Lecce. Men's Mach 2 men 1:30:58, and the Micro Cup will be heading to Saipan next year. But IIAG girls high school basketball, the Bulldogs of Ukadu playing host to the JFK Islanders. Deshaunay Cruz with a basket inside for the home team. JFK working the give and go off the inbound. There's bad bounce like a check. Well, Taryn Rupley gets a good bounce. Pull up 3. Cash it. Bulldogs get the ball to Tia Apatang, who shakes off the D, makes her way to the rim for the shot off the backboard. Islanders working that O game now, setting screens for the ball handlers, finding some space. KJ Camacho dribble around a screen set by teammate Francine Villena. Camacho with a pull-up J. Bulldogs get the win 51-33. Danica Kakayan with the finger roll at the free throw line in the dub. The 2017 Triple J Guam National Youth Football Federation Championship Day, Saturday at the Hells Angels Field in Dedito. Action kicks off in the Munhud Division, 1 p.m. between the Angels and Cowboys. The Metgut Division take to the gridiron next at 3 p.m. Meeting up will be the Angels and the Steelers, while the Matua Division Championship will be on the line when the undefeated Guam Packers take on the Angels at 7 p.m. Registration open for the Triple J 5K, known as the happiest, colorfulest, foamiest, and most Instagrammable 5K. They do it for the gram. The run scheduled November 18th, Triple J Auto Group. Main location, Upper Tumon, right in front of Kmart. Registration available at the Triple J Showroom, Triple J Honda next to Tamuning McDonald's, Triple J Used Car Mart next to Airport Road, Hornet Sporting Goods in Tamuning, and Goody Sporting Goods in Upper Tumon. All proceeds benefit Guam Cancer Care Lupus Awareness Group, Guam Boy Scouts Chamorro District, and Pacific Mission Aviation. Bud Light Golden Hoops Classic, Team OG Gangsta took home the co-ed rec title behind their 67-60 victory over the Tamuning Typhoons. Tristan Tapia led the way with 24 points. Tapia also selected as the division's MVP and won the top scorer award, averaging 19.4 points a game. Men's varsity division championship title went to the Falcons after they picked up the overtime win against Guahan Warriors 60-54. Lance Gogui put up a game-high 17 points and walked away with the MVP award. Typhoons player Cloyd Rosas was the division's top scorer, averaging 17.2 points a game. For complete results, GuamBasketball.com. All right, Marianas, thanks for watching. Guahusi Chris está. Adios!
Nissan's fall clearance event is on with the best prices of the year. Save as much as $8,000 on the all-new 8-passenger Armada. Get the cargo van selected best in class with 25 miles per gallon combined. The fuel-efficient NV200 compact cargo van with 5-year, 100,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty starting at just $127 per pay period. Great deals on Versa Sedan, Frontier King Cab, or the 7-passenger Pathfinder starting at just $87 per pay period during the fall clearance event at Nissan Upper Tumon. Find out more at NissanGuam.com.
When you know what you want and you want it great, look no further than Ruby Tuesday's new Steakhouse Sensations menu. Choose from a 20-ounce dry aged prime bone-in ribeye or an 8-ounce filet mignon tenderloin. Either steak seared to your preference and served with 2 specialty sides like the Nancy mashed potatoes, grilled asparagus, or roasted Brussels sprouts. Enjoy surf and turf and add a succulent lobster tail or tender grilled salmon fillet to complete your meal. This plus a whole lot more. It's Steakhouse Sensations for a limited time and only at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas, Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. When your passion goes beyond your island, choose a plan that takes you further. With Docomo Pacific's My Plans, you can do a lot throughout the Marianas. 20 gigs for $79 or 30 gigs for $99. All the data you need to connect, share, and make all your ideas happen. Dream big, reach higher with My Plans. Docomo Pacific, better together.
and bigger than ever. The big deal is going on now at Triple J. 0 down, 1.9% financing plus a $500 Kmart gift certificate. Save big with deals like the Ford F-150 at $266 per paycheck, the Mazda CX-3 at $154, the Kia Optima at $169 per paycheck, or the Honda Accord at $193 per paycheck. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and see print ads for details. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday, Jaden Julene Ma. Now, lots of love from Ama and Daddy. And happy belated birthday to Davey Arceo.
Remember, you can be part of the Coldstone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday so we can celebrate you.
Well, that's going to do it for us here in the news desk, but stay tuned. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion.
Hafene, everybody, and welcome to the show. We start tonight with the Culture Club.
I'm Guahusi Elia Bezario Diggin. 26 anos,